The 2014 Western Australian Businesswoman of the Year is Sharon Warburton.
So it's those construction boys again. I promise I won't speak for as long this time. You can all relax. Thank you so very much. I spoke earlier tonight about my passion for supporting others in their quest to find success in what has been traditionally male-dominated industries. These days I get just as much of a kick out of helping people achieve that as I do of closing a big deal or completing a strategic plan. With the recognition that comes from being the WA Telstra Businesswoman of the Year for 2014, it is my plan to continue this work. It is my goal to connect with kids in the bush who dare to dream. I will share with them my story of dreaming of owning a BMW and being able to travel the world. I'll show them a photo of my 1977 Toyota Corolla university car, as well as a photo of the shiny new Maserati I owned when I lived in the Middle East. I decided that Maseratis were faster than BMWs. I will share with them images from my world travels, from trekking to see the gorillas in Uganda, hanging out with the climbers at Everest Base Camp, summiting Mount Kilimanjaro, visiting World Vision children in Africa, and riding the carousel at Disneyland with my daughter. I will encourage those kids to think big and to go after their dreams. I will continue to share with young professionals, both male and female, how I balance the work with the life that we all talk about. I don't always achieve balance. There was a time when I commuted to London every month for 2 years. That was my FIFO experience. And in my workaholic days, I justified leaving the office at 11:50 p.m. every night, as that meant I would be at my hotel and asleep before midnight. And if I was asleep before midnight, I wasn't working too many hours. I will share my experiences of being a working mum after Chloe was born. How I didn't feel that I could stay home 24/7 with baby Chloe, and how I refused to feel guilty for making what I think was the right choice for me. And I will share about how I juggle motherhood with my career and how I ensure that all my time with Chloe is quality time. I will share how uncomfortable it felt for me to be leaving the office before everybody else, the walk of shame. I will share the strong feelings of guilt I experienced and what I did to overcome those feelings, and how I have made it work with strong boundaries and open communication, the keys to working flexibly. And I will talk about, as we heard earlier in the night, how I master the art of delegation and outsourcing, which is so important to succeed. This award will also help me to inspire others to take control of their career development, to develop great leadership styles through the creation of winning cultures, to learn the art of thinking strategically, and to aim not just to achieve gender diversity, but diversity of thought. More importantly, this award will inspire me to work with WA's emerging female leaders to increase their self-confidence, so they make time to focus on their aspirations, so they aim high and achieve even higher. The biggest key is self-belief. I will share with them how I have achieved so much more than I ever thought I could. Earlier in the evening, I talked about my feelings. I talked about gratitude, I talked about excitement, and I talked about thankfulness. Well, tonight I'm actually also feeling some sadness and some confusion. We are all here showcasing the wonderful female talent we have in our community. Yet our state has the largest gender pay gap in the country, and it is unlike West Australians to accept last place at anything. I find this sad and confusing. Confusing because it is not difficult to eliminate the gap. I know this because I am part of 2 company boards, very large companies, which have both eliminated this gap completely. Through my work as co-chair of the Remuneration and Nominations Board Subcommittee at Fortescue Metals Group, I'm working with Nev Power and his executive team to ensure there is no gender pay gap now or in the future at Fortescue. There has been no gender pay gap at Brookfield Multiplex for over 3 years now, and together with my colleagues, we have implemented watertight processes and measures to ensure that no gap can reappear. I encourage you to commit to identify and eliminate any gender pay gap in your own organisations. I suspect that many of us assume the gap is elsewhere and it's not in our organisation. I challenge you to question that mindset and to take out the magnifying glass. We did at Brookfield Multiplex and we're embarrassed about the initial findings. We are now very open and honest with our staff about it, and I'm being open and honest with all of you tonight about that, and how we are very proud with the end result we achieved. So I take this opportunity tonight to challenge you to focus on what I see as an unnecessary hurdle for the success of women in our workplaces. Perhaps some of the other hurdles facing women, like childcare, for example, could be less of a hurdle if the pay gap didn't exist. In closing, can I again say a huge thank you to Telstra and the team at the Telstra Business Women's Awards, not only from me, but also from little Chloe. We had a deal that if Mummy won a prize tonight, then Chloe could come along to the big party in Melbourne next month. I can't wait to let her know in the morning that we're off to Melbourne together. Thank you very much. There was one thing in my speech that I didn't write down and I forgot. I wasn't aware that there was prize money this evening. I'm a bit confused about the details. It's all a bit overwhelming for me tonight. But I'd like to announce that part of my prize money will be going to the Literacy for Life Foundation, which is the initiative that Brookfield Multiplex have established with the Indigenous communities to focus on adult literacy with the benefit for future generations of literacy in the Indigenous community. Thank you very much.